A couple of months ago, I made a video on Poolish and how to use Poolish to make pizza dough. I used two different recipes, and the second one turned out to be phenomenal. Probably my favorite pizza crust of all time came from that, at least out of all the ones I've made. It tasted so good, has so much flavor. When I posted the video, I got some feedback. A few guys were saying I need to try to make Poolish without putting the Poolish in the fridge overnight. That's how I did it. I made the Poolish, it went in the fridge overnight, and the next day I made the dough and the pizza. And so that's what I tried this time. It took me a couple of experiments to get it right, but to get the yeast right, because you're using so little yeast when you're leaving the Poolish at room temperature overnight to ferment. But I finally got it figured out, and I made pizzas out of my regular Poolish recipe, the one I really like, and then out of this newer recipe I developed that the Poolish fermented overnight. And I made two pizzas, and this is what they look like. As you can tell, they are nearly identical. They look really good, both of them. The rim of the crust looks nearly identical. The bottom of the pizza looked nearly identical. They both had a little bit of cracking, which is what we want to see. And when I tasted them, though, I was really surprised. I was assuming that the Poolish that fermented at room temperature overnight, and then also the dough ball itself had a ferment for a lot longer time period. I was assuming that one was going to taste better. I was assuming it was going to have a lot more flavor, but to my surprise, it did not. My original Poolish recipe, where it ferments overnight in the fridge, it had so much more flavor. I mean, 3-4 times more flavor. So impressed with the flavor. The one with the very long fermentation at room temperature, it was just more bland. I don't know why. That's just how it was. So that's the results of this experimentation. I'm going to put both of the recipes in the description for you to look at and try if you'd like. But if you have any Poolish recipe that you love where the Poolish ferments at room temperature overnight or longer, let me know. I'll try it out. But for now, all I can say is the Poolish that ferments overnight in the fridge is exceptional. Probably the best pizza crust I've ever made. A couple of you have been asking about which is my favorite pizza crust recipe of all time. And I'm doing more experiments soon, real soon. I mean, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to make a video comparing, 4 or 5 recipes that I like. And it's going to kind of depend on how long you have to ferment. I'm going to have a same-day recipe, an overnight Poolish, and then either a 3 or 5 day ferment. And we're going to compare them all and see what the strengths and weaknesses of them all are when they're right next to each other. So stay tuned. It's coming up quick. Let me know, please, if you try the Poolish recipe. Let me know what you think. And see you next time.